Not much left of this car. It's kind of a little tougher getting apart than you'd think. It's pretty rotted. This car was not fixable. We'll get back to cutting her up some more, getting some more parts out. And these aren't in the greatest shape, but there's parts that are usable. It was worth it. And I did a little cleanup. More left to do. A little more room to work. I'm dying to put a two-door door on there just to see what it looks like. Another floor pan in, all on this side. And a little bit of touching up to do on them. Next plan, got the quarter glass out. I'm going to get the back glass and the front glass for fear of damaging decent glass, because it's decent. I don't want to buy it if I don't have to. So that's the next excursion. I'll get the glass out, park it up there on that shelf so it's safe. Then we'll figure out where I'm cutting and how I'm doing. This stuff is all really super solid. I'd hate to cut out this roof and all that and not have solid things. So we'll see how far back I'll use the other quarters. I'll go far as back as I can. I'll definitely have to buy a patch down here where the new placement of the B-pillar is going to be. So we'll see. I'll get back with you. Well, got her out. There's the rear glass, front glass, a few surprises. I think there's normally a seam here that gets seam sealed, and of course, you know, seam sealer worked because it rusted out. So I thought my worst trouble, which is some trouble, kind of same deal back here. So it's all on the outside, not so much on the inside. A little bit here. Little drain holes, they're all solid. You know, had a hole here, a couple holes, so I figured this would just be gone, but it's not. But hey, what do you expect? So that'll be fun to deal with. Maybe that'll give me, you know, maybe get the two doors on it, get the quarters in it, and might fix this at the same time. I might just wait till that's done, then I'll be motivated to fix it, because that's just gonna suck. That's gonna suck worse than getting those off. But that's okay, I got a little idea. Turns out this car has some good parts. It's not nearly as bad. That seam sealer didn't get in there or something and, you know, spread it all out, rot it out. So we got this section I can use, probably pretty good on through there, you know. So I'll decide how I'm going to fix that using this as parts. All right. Since we'll pretend we didn't see any of this for a while, we'll just pretend we didn't see it for now. Anyhow, kind of got started on mocking this up. Got the old two-door door hung on there pretty close. I got a gap. Well, when it closes all the way, the gap's real good here. It's good on top. So this is where the door is going to go. So that's important because I need to figure out where this is going to go. Anybody need a tail fin, passenger side section? It's in fair shape. Anyway, we got her sat on there. Just sat. The inner structure is still on. I've got most of the inner structure, and the quarter panel still on the 4-door. So I've got it in there, kind of eyeing out where I'm going to cut it. So probably what I'll do, cut this quarter panel out, but I'll cut it back further. And I'm just going to cut everything really big and just kind of sneak up, you know. See, cut really big. Here's where the old one stops. I want to keep as much of this as possible because it's good and solid. This is not so much. It's pretty rough. I'm not real sure how I would attach this to under here, because usually this panel and the inner panel sandwiched together underneath the roof panel. That's why you see a lot of guys, they'll section out the roof all the way down through here. And that'd be the way to go if my roof wasn't, you know, the roof was like that along the top. So, of course, this is real long. It only goes to about here, but I'll section that into the 4-door part. Let me get that off there. Got a whole lot of trimming, a whole lot of cleaning, but we're just mocking up. I'll probably have this on and off at least 30 times before I put a weld on it. And lots of screws. You can always move screw holes. It's harder to move welds. I'll be back. Oh, and by the way, last time we used this camera for this video. This video is the last time I used this camera. Does that make any sense? The other camera, I've got charging stuff coming for it that I can just not find. So, alright, be back. No turning back now. See that I've cut the inner structure, left a little bit of a flange here, all the way around down through here, so that the inner structure on the other one, I have a little bit of meat to weld to, something I'll get all that figured out. It's not that big a deal. Now a 4-door, inner outer half of the wheelhouse stops, because you have that, you know, 4-door part that you see and your butt goes by it when you sit down. On a 2-door, it continues on down. It connects down to the rocker. These have a gasket between the inner and the outer quarter panel. So I'll get the quarter panel. Time it's all said and done, fitting in, and it's welded where I want, whatever. I'm going to leave that open until the body comes off the frame. Yep, doing that. Might build a rotisserie, I'm not totally sure yet. Either way, I'll make a filler panel that goes in there with some sort of similar gasket. You can't really, kind of, if you had a solid 2-door and you want to just replace this gasket, I'm sure there's a way to do it, but it's not going to, the metal staples into metal. Well, getting closer. Fits up pretty well. This door needs a little bit more adjusting before I get too far ahead. I'm not real happy with this gap, so it needs to come up just a smudge. Either way, ow. Tack screws hold everything in place. This section right here will get replaced with a patch panel, and of course I'll start with all that after I get everything else welded in. You know, I'll have to fix down here I have I'll of course put this in first. Everything lines up down through there. Little trimming left through here. This is where the pivot for the glass goes up and down. Like I said, I hope to go ahead and put roll-up windows and stuff. I don't have regulators of glass. I got a little bit of a bigger gap than I need right there. But I'm probably not going to use all this. Using it right now for mock-up only because it's pretty rotted out. I'll use my parts doors. Probably use this, cut this out, put that in there. Once again, once everything's slated in, spend a little time working on this. That'll go right there, all welded up, pretty close. It's just about flush. Now it's flush. You know, when we get this off here, I'll show you a few other things. I got a lot to do before I do any welding, but one cool thing, a trim hole lined up. Tack screws. I'll take this off. I'll cut this quarter panel back here. And then what I'll do is go through and double cut it, tack it, pull the piece out from behind. If I double cut this, and then I'll pull that out and work my way through and tack it all in. Just tack it. That's after a lot of other stuff. We've got this chopped, which is the inside piece. I'll cut that straight back so this kind of lays on down. I can get it lined up. Like I said, I had this thing off and on. Well, since my memory card decided to be full, that was the little interruption we had. Now the reason I went this way, partly because an angle like this would be a little easier to fix and hide. You know, there's a lot of body work's going to happen through there. On top of that, this lip is an original shape. It's a little boogered up down here, and I may use the part I cut off of this to patch into here. But the reason I wanted to use this is someone's boogered it up. I tried pulling it out and it's pretty rough. It really tin cans around, and so to roll it over, of course they cut it, but I might have to use this piece here. It's still pretty good. They did that to put bigger tires in it. It is what it is. Everything's fixable when you got a welder and some sheet metal. I'll show you some more in just a minute. Well, I got her back off there. A lot of cleaning up to do. Like I said, I'm probably gonna cut this off. It's pretty holy. Cut it back, I don't know, somewhere here. Then use that door piece to fill in. I'll get that measured out and figure that out. Of course, it's pretty rusty in here. That's one thing I wanted to do, was clean up, at least in this upper section. scrub it down, wire brush it real good, and pour 15 it on the inside. A little easier to do now on the inside of the inner structure too. Like I said, that bottom section will get replaced, but a little easier to get to some of this now. Of course, up in here, kind of same situation. It's not bad. Probably last 50 years if I don't do anything with it, but I'm gonna might as well do it while it's here. Clean it all up. Here's that piece I was telling you about. So I'll have to graft this in right along through here so that the B-pillar sits on it. Probably right around here somewhere. Now, one problem I've got is it wasn't me that cut this. Somebody else cut the rocker off the other car, so this is short. But I may be able to use that piece off the 4-door to fill it in, patch it up, whatever. We'll get her going. It's kind of time consuming and a little nerve-wracking, and no turning back now. So we're going to call this a video. I appreciate you guys' comments and, you know, what you think and all that. That's a lot of fun for me. So, you know, any advice, any call me crazy, whatever, blooper down in the bottom there. We'll see you guys on the next one. Maybe we'll get to doing some welding by then. Oh, you like this? Look at this. Custom. The original door panel is still underneath it. So I'm going to use that as parts to build new ones. Green door, blue, furry carpet, whatever stuff. I don't know. This door's pretty rough down at the bottom corner, along the bottom. But I have parts doors right over there. I couldn't get $100 for all 4 of them if I wanted to. So, might as well, you know, use what I got, right? Alright. We'll see you guys next time.